So here's the standard touch bar for your MacBook, nothing new. Let me enable my custom one. And you can see it's completely changed. So you can do so much with the software, but I've kept it really minimalistic. I'll give you an example. If I hold down to see the weather, I can see all this week. I also have a custom YouTube subscriber button and I can see my total views. If I press it, it sends me to my YouTube channel. So obviously you could set it up to do any other website you want. Now let's head into a game. I'm going to pick Mindustry and let me just zoom out. You can now see that the nav bar here has customized for this game. So if I press, I've got my first shortcut. I then want to maybe build some other. And as you just saw, it's scrollable. So let me pick this, defense. We also have a different folder here. We have schematics. I can press this and it gives me more options. I click graphite and it takes me to a whole new design. Now, we can set custom shortcuts on this touch bar for any game. But for this example, we'll keep in Mindustry. So let me quickly explain how it works inside this game so you can have a basic understanding and apply this to any game like Minecraft or Terraria. So at the bottom right here, we have our menu categories. I can select any of these by pressing numbers on my keypad. So if I wanted to select a certain item, say I can press 31 and I get it. So all I've done with the keypad at the top here is set these to certain numbers. So basically any game with hotkeys. So for the schematics, it's a little bit different. What I did was when pressed the graphite, it selected here, it clicked schematics, it typed in a name, and then it clicked that schematic. So as you can see, you can change it for different games to suit how that game would pick a shortcut. Let me just jump in straight to the tutorial so we can get this working for you guys. Now firstly, we need the icons for the touch bar. We can do this two ways. You could just Google them and find them online, or we can capture them right now in game. So let's press Command Shift then 4. It brings up the screenshot tool. We click then drag over the icons, release, and that should now save to our desktop. Keep on doing this until you've saved all the icons you want. If you have the knowledge, you'll be able to edit this in Photoshop. If you don't, we can head to a website called photopea.com. Let's create a new project. Width to 100, height to 100. Click Create. It's a little bit small, so let's go to View, then Zoom in. You can also use Command+. We want to drag in the icons. So in my desktop, I've got the screenshots here. And then click on a corner and we can drag it. Hold Shift to make it uniform. This is the icon I'm going to use. Press File, Export as PNG. Make sure quality is 100 and save. It's now saved to our Downloads folder. The reason why I picked a PNG is because maybe I don't want a square as an icon. Maybe I just want this turret. So how do I do that? I hide the background. I then go to the eraser tool. I click once and it's going to say rasterize. Click OK. We now can erase the background. This is a little bit small, so I'll increase the size of the brush. This is the icon I want to use, so I'll click File, Export as PNG. Quality 100, save. So now you can see this is what the icon will look like. My previous one is the square. We now need to download an app to take full control over the touch bar. It's free for the first 45 days, and to purchase it, it depends on your country, but it's $8.50 for 2 years or $20.50 for a lifetime. I do have to say it is worth the money. It can do so much more and it's so powerful. For example, I used it to set up and display my YouTube subs and views right in the touch bar. Now, the link is in the description and it should be on the video now to click to send you straight to this website. Now, let's go ahead and download the trial. Let's now install it. And let's double click on it. Open. Move the applications folder. It might have some security things that it needs to ask you to do. So go ahead and accept all those. And that's us installed the BetterTouchTool. To get you up and running as fast as possible, we're going to download some pre-made buttons. Now head to this website at the top or just click the link in the description. We're going to scroll down and click on the latest stable version. We're then going to directly import it into BetterTouchTool. Open. Yes, start import. And that's us all done. So you can see at the bottom here, I've got a touch bar simulator, just so you can see in real time what's happening to my touch bar. If we go to the top, we should have two new icons. This is the golden chaos and this is the BetterTouchTool. If you don't see the golden chaos, click restart and it should show up. Let's change some settings. If we go to general, we can see we have modifier menus. This means if I press, for example, controlling my keypad, you can see that the menu bar has completely changed at the bottom. So let's just leave these on for now and you can play around with it later. So we have two parts to this. We have the home strip and the menu bar. The home strip is this area. It's scrollable. The menu bar is basically a bar that you want to show at the top all the time and you can always see it. So let's just edit a few things and I'm going to strip back everything for this tutorial just to make it easy. So we don't want this, we don't want that. We don't want any of this and that. And the menu bar, I'm going to remove everything as well. Don't need that, I don't need that. I do like the battery and I do like to show the percentage. Now a good little tip here is the weather is cool because if I hold down the weather, it'll show me what's happening this week. Same with my battery. I hold it down, I've got a lot more info. Now I'll leave all this and the brightness and the volume, I'm going to remove all them. The reason why is if I put two fingers on my nav bar, I can change the volume. If I put three, the brightness will change. I'll remove mute. I'm too poor for AirPod Pros. And I'll remove all this. So that's basically us ready for the next step. Now let's dive a little deeper. Let's go to the BetterTouchTool and go to configuration. It's all quite confusing, so ignore everything. What we did with the golden chaos was do the home strip and the menu bar. So click home strip. And in golden chaos, we disabled show finder, but we can enable it here. So what that means is the golden chaos is basically just a shortcut to here. We can override and customize everything more here. So if I press it in my computer, there we go, it works. Now let's create our first button. We do this by pressing here and create touch bar button. We'll call this Santa tracker. We'll change the button to red and we'll add an icon to anything. This one. And we've got our first button. Now we want it to do something, so here's the trigger. I'll click this, press URL, because I want to open a website. So I'll press http santatracker.google.com, save it, and I'll press it on my computer. Sends us straight to the website. So let's see where Santa is. Ah, he's just left Latvia on his way to Poland, I think. So let's make our first game button. Let's delete this and make a new button. Let's create a touch bar button. We want to call this Lancer because it's the weapon. We'll change it to green and create the icon from disk because we made them earlier. And there's our first button. Now we only want to show the icon. We don't need it to say Lancer. And 30 by 30 will make it full height. Save it. Now, what's important is using the fixed width. At the moment, it's 100. Some people might say, well, put it to 30 so you don't see that green. Well, now if you look at it and you're trying to play a game and press it, you might mispress it because it's so small. So what I do is use fixed width to 60. Save it so we can see it now, and then just change the color to black. Now it's a big button, but you can only see that icon. Now I'll click on Lancer here, press Command C, then Command V, and we've got two buttons now. Let me change this to Ripple. Change the icon from disk to Ripple. We now have our two buttons. Now, if you're playing a game, you might have too many shortcuts and will quickly use up all this bar. So what we want to do is start using folders. So let's create a new group. We'll call this weapons. Save it and drag them both in. So if I press weapons on my touch bar, they both pop up. So you can now understand how that's going to work in a game. So I'll just delete this and show you how to fully configure the next part. So we only want this to work when we're playing Mindustry. So we click here, and if the app is running, we can just click it, or let's select it from the file system. Mindustry. So now on the side, if we scroll down, we'll see Mindustry. This is where all the buttons will show up once we start playing. Now, I thought it would be straightforward. I would click touch bar button, and then for the trigger, I would press, say, 3 for the shortcut I want to go to. However, it doesn't work. The BetterTouchTool doesn't recognize as keystrokes or something, so I had to make a big workaround. So what we do is we create a new button, and instead of touch bar button, we go here and click Apple script. Now, in the description below, I've got some code that you enter. Copy this and paste it in here. Now, the source has to be Apple JavaScript for automation and execute 0 seconds. Now, if you click common, this is how we designed it last time. So let me just quickly make a button, select the icon, and that's not showing up. Show icon only. Oh, it's not showing up because we're not in Mindustry. So if I head over to Mindustry, we can see the buttons now working now that the app's open. So to create the shortcut, I need to find what keys I need to press. So in this menu, it's here. In mindustry, if I press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see the categories are changing. So I want to press 1. I then want to select Lancer. I do that by pressing the next number. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I press 1, 6 fast, it selects a Lancer. And I want to create the trigger. So we'll send a keyboard shortcut. 1. Send it down only. Another one. 1. Send it up. 6. Send it down. And 6. Send it up. So once again, for some reason, send key down and up doesn't work. So what we have to do is down, up, down, up. But that's basically it. That's it working. So let's go into mindustry. I'll click a random category. Now I'll press on my touch bar, and there you go. There's the first working shortcut. Pretty cool. Now we have to be more flexible for more games, as numbers will only work in mindustry. It might not work in other games. So remember, we can use any letter or dot, colon, etc., etc. But once again, we need to be even more flexible because sometimes we can't even use keys. So we can go to make another action and we can use mouse clicks and mouse movements. So let's create a scenario. We'll go into mindustry, and for schematics, I can press T. Takes me to all my schematics. I then can type to get to any one of these schematics. So if I type graphite, I can go to any one of these. So let's make a new one. I want to make some defense. So let's make a defense, and we'll make an ugly router chain. Right, so let's copy that and save the schematic. We're going to call this defense and then call it Q1. In this game, it would be easy just to search for Q1 rather than a full name. So click OK. Now I'll go to schematics, press Q1, and it comes up. So how do we work this in? We want the mouse to travel to this location, click, press Q1, and then click the center here. And then this will come up. Now this would work easiest if we had two screens. We could put all these settings on the left screen and then have a full-size game on our main screen. But luckily with mindustry, it doesn't matter how big I stretch the window, these locations are always the same. So I can get this location for schematics. So let's create our first trigger. We want to move the mouse to a location. Move mouse to position and record new position. Let's move it to here. Press space and it's recorded it. So save. We now want it to press our key, left click, and that's it working. Now, this is the Lancer script, so it's not going to work to make the Lancer anymore. It's going to change to moving. We don't see it in our bar yet because we're not playing the game. So if I click it, it comes up. If I press it, schematics pop up. So it works. Now we need to expand on this. We need to type, what was it? Q, and put that down. Put that up. And then we wanted 1, 1, key down, key up. Save. Now let's see if that works. It's popped up. Now all we have to do is click this location, which would not be the location. It would be something like that. But in this game, luckily, I can just press enter. So let's press enter, down. Enter, up, save. Now let's try it in the game. Press the button, and it works. Now, the only problem you see here is it saved the mouse in this location when we press it. So let's press it again. Why is the schematic down here? It's because we didn't save our location for the mouse. So let me talk through that. Now let's create a trigger. We want to create save a location. So save current mouse location. So let's bring that to the top. So what we'll do before it does everything, it will save the location before anything is done. And then at the end of the script, we want it to restore. And that's it. Let's head back into the game. Our mouse is over here. And there we go. A working script. This can work for anything. I mean, Terraria, Minecraft. Hope you enjoyed that. It took me so many hours to figure this all out. No joke. I think I've been working on this for about 24 hours. Merry Christmas, everyone. It's in 4 hours. Have a good day. Catch you later.